She is a walking lie. I've never heard someone get away with lying so much in my life. In sports. Sheryl Swoopes is back at it again, folks. So, Sheryl Swoopes is back at it. She's back at it and this time, she's hitting new lows. She's decided to throw shade at the Indiana Fever and sneak diss Caitlyn's team. Instead of outright attacking Clark, not only that, she's even going against the fans on social media. Stay tuned till the end, as I will be showing you the entire drama behind Swoopes and her wild claims. I'm convinced at this point that all she does is, she does this all for attention. She is the definition of an attention whore. Yeah, I said it. She's an attention whore.
Talk about exhausting, right?
Sheryl Swoopes, in her new podcast called, what is it called? Levels to This? Yeah, Levels to This, I think. She made some comments about the Indiana Fever. Her latest gripe is more outrageous than her previous allegations. Apparently, Kelsey Mitchell hasn't been given enough credit for her role in the Fever's success. Let's pause and marvel at the irony here. Sheryl, the same woman who's been downplaying Clark's historic rookie season like it's her part-time job, is now upset about someone else not getting enough credit. Can you believe it? The hypocrisy here is rich enough to fund the next WNBA season. But we've got more Sheryl Swoopes stuff. Sheryl Swoopes believes the Fever didn't do a very good job recognizing Kelsey Mitchell. And it's been a while. It seems like she's been kind of quiet about the Indiana Fever, but she came out with a doozy. So, what did Sheryl Swoopes say? Listen up. And personally, here's why I think they did do a very good job, and that was with Kelsey Mitchell, who's an unrestricted free agent, because Kelsey Mitchell had a hell of a season this season, and I don't think she got the credit that she deserved. Swoopes had the audacity to go on a podcast and say, personally, here's where I think the Fever didn't do a very good job. And that was with Kelsey Mitchell, who's an unrestricted free agent. Because Kelsey Mitchell had a hell of a season this season, and I don't think that she got the credit that she deserved. Really, Sheryl? Because from where the rest of us are sitting, Mitchell has been celebrated plenty by fans, analysts, and the Fever organization alike. But anyway, what do you mean by they didn't do a good job of recognizing Kelsey Mitchell? Kelsey Mitchell had the most recognition she has ever had. Kelsey Mitchell has been a bucket since Ohio State. Kelsey Mitchell is a household name, probably earned 3 times as much in China as she would have otherwise. Here's the kicker. Kelsey Mitchell had a fantastic season, yes. But let's not forget that part of her success might just be owed to playing alongside Caitlyn
Clark.
Oh, but you never hear Swoopes admit that. No, acknowledging that Clark elevates her teammates would be too much of a truth bomb for her fragile anti-Clark narrative to handle. Instead, she's doubling down on this nonsense about the Fever failing Mitchell. She wants the attention, and we're going to give it to her because she keeps asking for it. She keeps making outrageous comments that are just unbelievably stupid, and it never seems to stop when it comes to Sheryl Swoopes. And let me tell you, Swoopes conveniently ignores that Indiana has openly stated that re-signing Mitchell is a top priority this offseason. If Kelsey Mitchell was not open, she literally would dribble the ball out and give it back to Caitlyn. She would give it back to Caitlyn or give it to Aaliyah. And that is why she was so successful. That's correct. Mitchell has been successful and celebrated not only because of her own individual performances, but also because of her team efforts and being a playmaker for her team star player, Caitlyn Clark.
She's right.
Kelsey Mitchell had quite a season, the best season of her career, and she herself would attribute a lot of that to playing with Caitlyn Clark. No doubt. The fans love her, and there are plenty of fans to watch her play. And she also has attributed that to use her nickname, C-Squared. The crowd atmosphere, out there, it felt like there wasn't really a home for me sometimes. With the reactions everyone was getting. Oh girl, C-Squared is cute, you know? But wait, it gets better or worse depending on how much secondhand embarrassment you can handle. Earlier this year, Swoopes made the bizarre claim that some Fever players supposedly want out of Indiana because of the hype surrounding Clark. That's not my point. There's a lot of other shit going on that players are like, this ain't where I
want to be.
Over there? Yeah. There's some new shit going on around there. It's a lot. So, you have players that are very significant on this Indiana Fever team that are like, I don't want to be here. I don't think this is where I want to be. Melissa, what kind of things you've just said? I'm not in the locker room.
Okay.
Yeah, because heaven forbid a generational talent like Clark gets the attention she's earned. Naturally, this baseless statement was quickly refuted by the Fever players as well as The fans, who essentially told Swoops to, well, take a seat. This was just one of the reactions that Swoops got. And believe me, she was getting roasted out. There. But this seemed like too much heat because she finally decided to respond to this particular tweet and went on a tweet rampage. She clapped back at fans calling her out, writing, "Sis, I ain't worried about this wannabe. All lies." Okay, Cheryl, but what exactly are the lies here? Because you did say what you said, and the receipts are everywhere. And the fans didn't let this one slide. Soon enough, Swoops was caught red-handed, and the fans let her have it. Honestly, this is hilarious and sad at the same time. Swoops never fails to disappoint us in her lack of credibility and bias.
Now let's talk about how.
Swoops conveniently positions herself as a champion for Kelsey Mitchell while simultaneously undermining Caitlin Clark. It's almost impressive how transparent her bitterness is. She's not here to genuinely advocate for Mitchell. She's here to throw subtle digs at Clark while pretending to care about team dynamics. It's like wrapping a rotten apple in fancy gift paper. No one's buying it. In a time where there's nothing really to talk about, she has to come talking. She has to come with some new stupid statement. And it is clear that no matter what she says, she has problems with everything Indiana Fever related. She has problems with Caitlin Clark. No matter what she says, it doesn't matter at this point. There's always something new that's going to come out of Cheryl Swoop's mouth that is quite, frankly, inflammatory, disrespectful, and completely wrong, and filled with fucking lies. What's really wild is how Swoops to think she can rewrite history in real time. She has an old habit of having selective amnesia when it comes to Clark and her team. So, what is Cheryl Swoops saying? Is she saying that the Indiana Fever did not utilize Kelsey? Because then that would contradict what she's saying. She's saying that she had an amazing season. Well, I mean, how did she have an amazing season? Obviously, the system was set up to allow her to have an amazing season. So, is she trying to say that they were reining her in? She's out here acting like the Fever has done Mitchell dirty, when in reality, the organization has bent over backward to show her appreciation. But sure, Cheryl, let's just ignore the facts and create a fictional narrative where the Fever are the villains and Clark is the big bad wolf. She said, well, there are other players. There's Lexi Hall, there's Leah Boston, and there's obviously Kelsey Mitchell. And then she stopped short of mentioning Caitlin, and it became a whole big thing because everybody said, you know basketball. So it makes it clear that you're purposely not talking about her. So there are issues there. She feels that others are not getting credit. And so in this case she doesn't say Caitlin Clark. She says it is the Indiana Fever who messed up. And can we talk about her fixation on Clark for a second? It's like she's renting space in her head for free. Every time Clark's name comes up, Cheryl can't help but insert herself into the conversation, whether it makes sense or not. At this point, it's less about basketball and more about her personal grudge. And I'm going to go to X, and I'm just going to scroll through the Indiana Fever feed, and just look at some of the posts, and see if we can find Kelsey Mitchell anywhere in the mix. That is 100% correct. In case you are wondering, there is a 2-minute way to completely dismantle her blatant lies. You just have to check out the official handles of Indian Fever. But this is a good place to start. This is the season. And you can see here a post from the Indiana Fever. Caitlin Clark and Kelsey Mitchell both broke the single-season franchise scoring record in the Flame because they were in fuego. This is what I'm saying. Indiana Fever has done more than a fair share of recognizing Kelsey Mitchell. But Cheryl Swoops won't listen because of her deep-seated bias against Caitlin Clark and her loved ones. The truth is, Caitlin Clark is everything the WNBA has been waiting for, a player who's not only an athletic marvel, but also a media magnet. She's breaking records, drawing crowds, and putting the league on the map like never before. And that's exactly why someone like Swoops can't stand her. Clark's success shines a spotlight on the stagnation of past stars who, for all their accomplishments, never managed to captivate audiences the way Clark has. The reason why I want Cheryl Swoops to coach is that I actually think she's either got a flawed understanding of the sport of basketball, or she wants to do whatever the hell she can to try to belittle Caitlin Clark. Like, I think it could be both. But so here's the deal, Cheryl. If you're so concerned about the WNBA's future, maybe stop tearing down the very player who's ensuring it has won. Instead of whining about the Fever's supposed mishandling of Mitchell or inventing imaginary drama, try celebrating the league's rising stars for a change. Or, just sit this one out. And to the fans watching this drama unfold, what do you think?
Is Swoops just bitter about
Clark's success, or does she genuinely believe her own nonsense? Either way, one thing's for sure, Caitlin Clark isn't going anywhere, and no amount of petty jabs from Cheryl Swoops is
going to change that?
That's it from my side, guys. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more interesting updates from the world of basketball. And we will see you in the next one.